Hare Krishna. We're going to do a video today about how to stop animal cruelty, battery farms, animal testing, meat eating. All those things should be stopped, shouldn't they?
Hello there, this is Barry M. Hello. My friend wants us to do a video basically on stopping animal cruelty. I've not got a great insight into animal cruelty, but I've seen it on TV programmes. It's quite sickening to think that, Alan says to stop chemical testing. As I say, I've not got a great insight on it, but to stop, but it's very cruel. I just recently on TV I see a picture of a cow being badly mistreated. It makes your heart sink. For someone to watch that on TV is heartbreaking. It's very cruel, but like dogs, even dogs. Some people put them in their back garden, tie them up, and don't feed them, and they're prone to disease and infection. They get.
You can get cruelty-free cosmetics from the co-op.
You can get cruelty-free cosmetics from co-op, as my man Al was saying. You can get cosmetically free. What was it?
Cruelty-free cosmetics.
Cosmetic cruelty-free products from the shops, and I think it'd be a great thing. But you've seen it. You know, like the donkeys out in desert like land, they're used and abused. Now, funny enough, I do know what it's like to be used and abused in a very powerful way. But some of the donkeys out in the desert land, now they're slaves to humans, and they're the most precious.
There's a donkey charity you can give money to.
Some actual countries around the world class animals as sacred. I don't think they should be used in that way.
The cow is sacred in India.
It's actually a fact.
True, yeah.
It's actually a fact. You know, also in India, when you die, you're supposed to come back as a rat.
I'm half Indian.
Yeah, my friend's half Indian. That you can just see my friend Alan in there. There's Alan. He's half Indian. I actually got brought up as Muslim, to tell you the truth. My friend here, half Indian, but I actually got brought up as Muslim. But Muslims don't allow pork in their diet, and I was a pork eater. But we're talking about animal cruelty. I mean, some countries treat them as sacred, the animals. But all questions aside, I don't like what happens to some of them donkeys out there. But at the same time, in some countries, you've got camels, and camels are not treated, I hope not, in a bad way, because they got two humps, and the tourists come out and they sit in between the two humps, and the camels easily walk them around. But I've seen some of the donkeys and the dogs, donkeys and dogs, come up on TV, and that is unspeakable. And if we're talking about animal cruelty, I mean, some of the hens, the chickens and hens in factories, that is no good. I would like to say they were quite happy, but I don't think so. I mean, free range, where salvation lies, is actually what we call free range for animals. But yes, a lot of countries class animals as sacred. as sacred. But with trying to stop animal cruelty, I think you want to make the animals into free range. You know, I mean, you get a major firearm and shot through the head, the brain, the head, but then you'll get the people that farm these animals saying that they're wasting the brain. See, I think it's pretty ridiculous. But if you get a major firearm and get firearmed, which are major firepower through the head, there's not much you know. But a lot of countries, as I say, treat animals as sacred. But it comes up on the TV, abusing neglected dogs, abusing neglected donkeys, and I don't think it's right. But if we're trying to get a point across from the video to stop animal cruelty, I would recommend free range. I would recommend free range, and a lot more free range. You do see a lot of free range animals wandering about in fields, but I do actually think you should let them live a life up until they're 18, 90, 100 years old. People eat baby lamb and spring lamb and baby lamb, and you know, going back to a major firearm through the head, but then they say they waste the brain. See, so, but a lot of countries around the world treat animals as sacred. But on a point taken of animal cruelty, free range, trying to stop cruelty to animals, I don't know what else to say really, but I think everything should, if possible, be free range. As you say, they led a good life, but you know, you know, you've got the likes of the stray dogs that people keep in their back garden. They're used, abused and neglected, and they end up with wire around their legs, and it's pretty much heartbreaking. And the donkeys out in the hot countries, they're used and abused. They get their trotters cut off, and you know, maybe used and abused and everything like that. As it says, in India, they treat the cow as sacred in India. But a lot of countries treat animals as sacred. But yes, if we're talking to the industrial companies of animals, I would say please make the animals free range, but just let some of them go wander off into the fields. See, I've been out in the countryside many years ago, and seen all sorts wander across the road and the fields and everything. But yeah, it is heartbreaking for animal cruelty. I'm not a protester or a demonstrator, but we're just doing a Barry M show on my friend says animal cruelty. So, but you would, for yourself, as a human to a human, now if you was an animal, you wouldn't want to be caught up in a factory of a raging noise of animals and be caught in a factory full of bars and sucking milk things and getting poked and prodded about. If that was you, I don't think you would appreciate it. I mean, there should be a lot more luxury, beauty to looking after animals, a lot more luxury beauty to look after them so they don't get poked and prodded about and put in behind cages and that. I think it should be a lot more free range. Anyway, I'm not a protester or a demonstrator. I do think, on the subject of animal cruelty, that you should have more beauty to the animal's eye than what it has cooped up in a factory. Because I reckon what's going through that animal's mind is murder. It's going to get murdered, basically. I don't think that's right, because a lot of people suffer inefficiency. If they say they're not inefficient, they're not inefficient. But there should be a lot more beauty around an animal in a farming industry to what they got. They got bars of gates, and they got, the smelly old den, bit of hay. There should be a lot more beauty to the animal's eye, and a lot more less fear tactics than what there is in the farming industry. Now, I'm not a protester or demonstrator. You should make it free range and show the animals a lot more beauty. Anyway, that's the Barry M show. Thank you.
That's all for now, folks.
That's all for now, folks.
This video is going to be about cannabis legalisation.
Cannabis legalisation.
Thanks for watching.
That'll be our next show. Bye bye.